Hello and welcome to today's Squarespace training. This training is for SEO purposes specifically. I'm not going to walk through the how-tos, but I'm going to show you everywhere, every little location you can find metadata on your website. I might miss one or two because there's a bunch, but I'm going to show you the majority of them so you have a good sense of where you can be tagging your site. Now, if you don't know what to write in those tags, we have so much content on our website. Just go to spacebaragency.com/guides or just go to spacebaragency.com. You should be able to find information there on how to tag in your metadata. Anyway, with that said, let's get started. All right, so I am on the back end of the actual Spacebar website. So we're gonna do this live and you're gonna see this happen right now. So there's a few things. So metadata, there's a lot of different places. Right now you're seeing some metadata show up here in the toolbar. All this info is populated by us. Let's start with a page. First thing is with a page. So tools we use, if you click the settings wheel, you click SEO, here is the metadata for the page. Typically, honestly, some cases, depending on what it is, I don't do the title as much, but you could see the descriptions written here. It's important to have that for SEO purposes. With images on your page, so not background images, but images on your page, you could come into a page. Here we have this image like card layout. So we'll click here. You'll see for the file name, this is also the alt text, the alt tag. And so if someone is either disabled or Google is reading your site, this is what they read to understand what this image is. And so here's a brief description of it. And just as a note, as we're going through this, keyword stuffing is not the goal here. Keyword stuffing could penalize you negatively in this process, but you could go in and tag all of these different images. And so that's why images are valuable to have. All right, another one to look at while we go through this, let's go to, so you could do this for all your services, right? You could click the settings wheel, hit SEO. We just did that for the page. Those all operate the same. But then when you have specific services here, so if I click here and I go to one of these services, top 25 keyword phrases, this is an image here. When you hover over it, it shows up with these three dots. You could click that, then you could click edit metadata. Here, you'll have the alt text for you as well. All right. So get out of that. Another place to consider, when people create new websites with 7.1, something happens where their site sometimes has a blank name. So let me click edit. Okay, go out of this. Okay, so let's go back to tools. Okay, so on this page, we are now in the editor. And so if I go to edit site header, you want to be mindful of this. Site title and logo. So maybe you upload a logo, but you also want to make sure you have a site title here. A lot of people have it just says blank site title or something. It just says like a generic text here. You want to make sure that is filled out. All right. So also for your homepage, let's go back to pages. If I want to adjust the SEO for my homepage, what it'll tell me is you have to edit this in the website SEO settings. Well, where are those? So if you go back to your main navigation here, and you click on marketing, and then you click on SEO, you can see this is where this part lives. And this is why I told you I don't do the titles often, because I do the SEO title here, this format for all of the site, so it's clean across the board, and go from there. Anyway, this is where you could edit for your home, all your pages, and all your items. And you could set it up here. You can learn a little bit about what this little I is, or the S, what those items are. And then for the SEO site description, you could add that in here. Now, let me zoom in actually. So this little %sign S grabs the site title. Now, we just looked at the site title a moment ago, and what that site title is, what you have written there matters because it will show up here as well. And it just makes it really easy to keep your site consistent across the board. Okay, so I am here on one of our most popular blog posts, and if you're looking for content on Squarespace SEO, literally go find this post. We update this often. I just updated this yesterday. But on this post, you'll see here, this is a blog post. If I click the settings wheel in the top right-hand corner, from there, I'll be able to hit SEO. And then you'll see here SEO title and SEO description. Again, on this page, you could add text to the images for the file names, which is really valuable as well. You could do that for videos as well. It's the same thing for videos. And just overall, you just want to make sure all this stuff is getting tagged. I don't see anything else here that's important to be tagging, but that would cover that. Okay, so I just added in 3 different sections here. I don't have these created on my site, but these are things where you're gonna wanna know how to tag different items. So I just added in this gallery here. You could see this here. If I click into the editor, you'll see these galleries work in an interesting way. I don't think many people actually like it, but we'll kind of see how that shows up. Every image has a description here, and this is the alt text or the metadata, let's say it that way, better. You could add in here, which is very valuable. You could add in more images, all of that, but each and every image is gonna have its own description, which is wonderful. So you wanna make sure you're adding that in. For events, same thing. If we come in here, we go to settings. You can then come to SEO. It has its own description for the metadata. So if I click on an event, so this is here. Okay, so it only had a thumbnail image. So the thumbnail image, if I go to settings and go to options, you'll see the image here. So that's that. You could edit the URL here, which is its own important thing for everything we just looked at, but that's for another video, another time. But you'll see here that that's where you can come in here, click the settings wheel, edit that for all events, which is beautiful and wonderful. Then the portfolio, similarly, you could click on any of these projects, settings, go into it, be able to adjust the SEO for every single portfolio item. So you could do this literally for every single item. It could be overwhelming, especially if you have a major site or a big site. Go into a project, let's see how these projects are organized. Oh, great, this is like a gallery, ton of images. What we just did a moment ago, you could probably do here. How's this layout? Okay, this is a little different, this is good. So let me click into this. You'll see here, here's this image. So is this a background image? So this is a little bit different. So for a background image, when it shows up as an actual background, if you save the file name with a good alt text or with like a good SEO description, that's wonderful to upload it. That's like a little hint too. If you do that, that's actually really clever. But overall, this is uploaded. You can't adjust this at all. The actual image title, there's no alt text for background images. As they're not read on the site, they're kind of more for decorative or design purposes. They don't show up there. Here, you can adjust this, file name there, same thing here, same thing here. So that gives you a full breakdown of literally every type of product or category. If I missed anything, let me know in the comments below. We could create another video like this for you, but that is a walkthrough of everywhere there's metadata on your site that you can adjust for your site so that you can be in full control of how content shows up. Similarly to all of these is when you go to the settings wheel, you could set up the SEO, but they also everywhere we just went, every single place we went, they also have the social image. And so you could adjust what it looks like on a social as well. Here, you're just adjusting the actual image, but all this social preview comes from the SEO content that you worked on as well. So it's very valuable to integrate that into your process. If you're writing a blog post, don't just write the blog post, write the SEO description as well that relates to the blog post. Potentially create a clever title for this, separate from the actual blog post title. They could work together, they could be the same, they could be a little bit different. Ideally, they want to be relatively close, but you can play with it. You could adjust it for SEO purposes in that way. Now, if you found this video helpful, or if you have any other SEO or Squarespace questions, please let us know in the comments below. And if you found this video helpful, please hit that like button. It tells me, not just the YouTube algorithm, but it tells me that you found value in this video, and I appreciate that. It lets me know the content is worthwhile. So on top of that, if you have a Squarespace website, are looking for more tips and tricks, please subscribe and hit that notification bell for this channel. You'll be able to get more content on the regular about Squarespace, about SEO, about freelancing, growing your business, any of those items along the way. So with that said, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.